Suddenly you were here, like an angel appeared, and the world that I knew changed into a wonderland. Then you called out my name, looked around and I found you were gone, like the rays of the sun disappeared into never-ending night, where everything real has turned to stone, and the songbird has flown. Now I know a rose can change a shade of blue. Ooh, yeah, 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 yeah. A shade of blue. My body's hurting, crying and yearning. Sometimes I feel like I'm losing my mind, and I think about you, knowing only you could understand. Here alone in my room, I can feel all
Good morning.
the walls closing in.
Let's try that again. Good morning. Much better. My name is Sean Furfaro, and I am pleased to welcome you to the College of Arts and Ontario Agricultural College Convocation ceremony this morning. Before I tell you a bit about the ceremony proceedings today, I just want you to take a moment to identify your closest exit in the unlikely event we have to evacuate the building for any reason. All of our exits are marked by the green runner symbol. For those of you seated in the bleachers, it's very simple. You would head back up to the track and head to the east doors. Essentially, head towards daylight. There's a big door right over there that will take you right outside. For those of you on this half of the floor, you would have to go out the back door in the corner there, continue through that hallway into the corner of the hallway, up the stairs, and it would take you out the same door. For those of you on this side of the room, there are 2 doors at the back, 1 door at the front. All of those doors will take you out the front entrance the same way you entered this morning. Should the need arise, our ushers will help direct you to gather in front of the Griffin Centre Arena. Under no circumstances, go that way. There are no doors over there. Now back to convocation. The University of Guelph is honored by our graduates, and we take great pride in our convocation ceremony. In order to allow full attention on convocation, we would ask that you please silence all cell phones or any electronic devices that could make noise. Our colleagues from Alumni Affairs are hosting a social media program developed especially for convocation. You've likely seen it scrolling on the screens as you waited for the ceremony to start. We'd ask you to please share your photos, your memories, and perhaps some advice for our new graduates by joining us on social media and using the hashtag GuelphGrad. The ceremonials used for conferring degrees have evolved over a millennium. The gowns and hoods you see today represent that history. In general, gowns for the baccalaureate and magisteriate degrees are black, and the color of the hood is different for each degree program. Doctorates here at the University of Guelph have a bright blue gown, and the honorary degrees are red. The University of Guelph crest that you can see on the screens and also on the podium in front of me represents our history with the Royal City. The emblems in the crest show links to Guelph through the white stallion at the top, the connection to liberal arts through the book, to the sciences through the astrolabe, and our connection to abundance and agriculture through the cornucopia. The University of Guelph motto is Rerum cognoscere causis. It's a quote from Virgil, and it's variously translated to be either happy is the one who is able to ascertain the reason of things, or perhaps to know the meaning of things. The procession of people into the hall is also influenced by ancient tradition. Music will herald the start of the procession of our graduands, the students coming to graduate today. This will be followed by our piper and the arrival of the mace, which leads the platform party. The mace is the symbol of the authority of the university. It'll be carried by the beadle. In medieval universities, a beadle was chosen by the instructor to work as an assistant. Today, the beadle is a ceremonial officer of Senate. Following the beadle and the mace, we will have the chancellor, the president, members of the administration and the honorees, fellows of the university, members of the board and senate, and members of faculty and staff. The degrees will be conferred in the order that you see in your program. They're separated by categories that represent the specific degree being awarded within the college. We begin with doctorates and magisteriates, followed by baccalaureate degrees. The name reader, that's me, will present scholars to the chancellor and president by degree category. As the name of each student is called, the beadle will place the hood over the recipient's shoulders right over here. The moment will be captured, and thanks to a live webcast, family and friends who aren't able to be here will be able to watch from a distance. The president will greet each student right here at center stage, and a photograph will be taken. Now, we understand the joy and excitement accompanying such an auspicious occasion as Convocation from the University of Guelph, but we do ask that you please hold your collective applause until each group of graduates has crossed the stage. Should you wish to hoot, holler, or make some sort of outburst of vocal noise while your graduate crosses the stage, we not only accept but encourage that. But please hold your collective applause until the end. I promise, I guarantee, there will be a moment for truly thunderous applause before we finish. Once all the degrees have been conferred and all the cheers have been cheered, the chancellor will close the ceremony and a recessional will play. We would ask at that point that you please remain standing during the recessional until all of the platform party has processed out of the hall, and then remain at your seat for a brief closing announcement about the reception that follows and a brief phased dismissal. I'll come back to the podium. You'll wait here with me for 2 to 3 minutes, and I'll explain where you're going so you're not all in the same hallway at the same time getting nowhere. Finally, may I be the first person to congratulate the graduates on their various successes and offer my congratulations to friends and family who are here to support and celebrate them. Welcome to Convocation at the University of Guelph. Please stand as you're able for the graduating class.
Ani, we give thanks to the Creator. We acknowledge the world around us and understand our place within it. We acknowledge and offer our respect to the many nations that walked this land in the past, the many nations that walk it today, and welcome you to the treaty lands and territory of the Mississaugas of the Anishinaabe. Sacred trust, we are the keepers of this land. She shelters and sustains us. Long after the flesh fails the spirit, we will care for this land. Our drums will be heard upon the wind, our voices in the rustle of the leaf. Our people have a sacred trust for the land, a trust no man may break, a trust that death cannot sever. We were here when you first stepped foot upon this land, and here we will remain long after the last step has disturbed your soil.
As an institution committed to learning, research, and to improving life, we are on a journey of transformative acts towards reconciliation. We acknowledge our role in strengthening relationships with First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples, and in upholding our responsibilities as both treaty partners and citizens. We know there's much work to do, both here and across Canada, and we're dedicated to taking these next steps together towards a brighter future. Please remain standing for our national anthem.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see the rights, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God, keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
As we gather today to celebrate these graduands, we pause and reflect on our place in this world. Let us reflect with awareness and gratitude for gifts we have been given. Let us remember the diversity of people who have enriched our lives. On this day that marks the end of a journey, we give thanks for family and friends who have walked with and supported you. And we are grateful for the classmates, faculty, and staff, mentors and administrators who have guided you along the way. May the learning, the growth, and the friendships you discovered here be long-lasting gifts. I invite you, each in your own way, to take a moment of silence to name that for which you are grateful. Let us recognize the debt of gratitude we owe to those who came before us, as we recognize our responsibility to those who will come after us. As you graduands leave this university and embark on a new journey as alumni, may the knowledge you cultivated here be joined with compassion. May you continue to grow in practical expertise in your careers and in your lives. And may you also foster creativity and wonder in all that you do. May you be filled with wisdom to be collaborative leaders, imaginative researchers, and passionate citizens of your communities for the flourishing of our world. May we all spread seeds of peace that make the world more just, more sustainable, and more beautiful. May it be so. Amen. I invite you to be seated.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome. My name is Mary Ann Chambers, and I'm proud to serve as Chancellor of the University of Guelph. I am a daughter of the Caribbean island of Jamaica. Almost 47 years ago, my husband and I chose Canada to be our home, the place to raise our two young sons. I made a commitment then, as I do now, that we would be good for Canada, and Canada would be good for us. I see that as entirely consistent with the University of Guelph's commitment to improve life. The scope of that, the needs, and the opportunities are limitless. They are local and they are global. My story is not unique, but perhaps because I have been willing to share it, I have had the pleasure of meeting students, faculty, and staff who have generously shared their stories with me, along with their passion for this very special university. I have also been touched by retired faculty and staff who have expressed interest in mentoring current students, reminding me that they have a lot of experience and knowledge to share. I think all of this points to the many benefits that the University of Guelph is able to offer as a leading comprehensive university and one of the highest ranked research universities in Canada. A community large enough to cover a broad range of subject areas in a variety of disciplines, while also being the right size for ensuring that everyone can feel that they belong here, where professors know their students and genuinely care about their success, and exceptional staff welcome the opportunity to support the achievement of that success. We must continue to explore and to learn. Addressing climate change and food insecurity is critical to the survival of our planet. Issues like global health, geopolitical instability, and cybersecurity are demonstrating clearly that geographical borders are man-made, easily breached, and increasingly irrelevant. And it is undeniable that artificial intelligence is as much about ethics, sociology, and human psychology as it is about technology and massive amounts of data. I mention these realities to remind you that you are absolutely essential to the well-being of each other, and to engage you because among you are the brightest minds from every academic discipline, researchers and innovators who have crucial roles to play. When I think of the integrated, multidisciplinary approaches modeled by the One Health Initiative as an example, in recognizing the various ways that human beings, plant life, and animal life are impacted by these kinds of challenges, it becomes obvious that there are connections, collaborations, and partnerships required everywhere. There are also tremendous opportunities. Graduates, you are building upon a foundation established by high achievers from every college of this university. I hope you have a sense of what is possible. I want you to aspire to greatness. Most of all, I want you to make your lives matter, because the world truly needs you to do so. The world should be a better place because you have lived. As you embrace the joy and satisfaction of these moments and look with optimism and courage towards the next chapters in your lives, I wish you continued success, and I ask that you remember how you have gotten this far. I am thinking about those who have cared so much about you and have often made significant sacrifices to enable you to dream big. So now would be a good time to stand and applaud all who have helped you to get to this point. Please be seated. I know sometimes it may not seem like they really appreciate you, but they do. I also know from conversations I've had with students that some have had to work under very difficult personal circumstances to achieve their dreams. I admire and applaud the strength, resilience, and determination that you have all demonstrated. So I've shared with you my hopes for the impact you will have on our world. I also have a more personal wish for you that I will convey through one verse of the lyrics of a song by American singer and country singer and songwriter Leanne Womack. It's not a new song, but I think its message is timeless and one you might want to take with you on your life's journey. The title of the song is I Hope You Dance. I hope you never fare those mountains in the distance. Never settle for the path of least resistance. Living might mean taking chances, but they're worth taking. And when you get the choice to sit it out or dance, I hope you dance. So graduates, please always be in awe of the world in which we live. Whether you view life through a social justice lens or through the creative spirit of an artist, remember why you chose to pursue a university education. I'd like to believe you did so not only to improve yourselves and your prospects for the future, but also to improve life for others. Remain close to the University of Guelph. This will always be your alma mater. You can be very proud of that. I wish you the best always.
Good morning, everybody. My name's Andrew Bailey. I'm an Associate Dean in the College of Arts and a member of the Department of Philosophy, and it's really lovely to see you all here this morning. Madam Chancellor, On the recommendation of the Senate of the University of Guelph, it is a great honor to present to you the candidate B. Denham Jolly for the degree of Doctor of Laws honoris causa. Mr. B. Denham Jolly's life of service and impact spans several fields, including education, business, journalism, and community service. As a philanthropist, leader, mentor, and advocate, he's left an indelible mark in Canada and Jamaica, including leadership and commitment to Canada, Black communities, and homeland, as well as perseverance in the face of racism and other insurmountable odds. After successfully completing the first year of the diploma course at the Ontario Agricultural College, Mr. Jolly transferred to the degree course at the Nova Scotia Agricultural College. He's turned his understanding of the importance of entrepreneurship to advantage, especially for Black and equity-deserving communities. He founded the Black Business and Professional Association and led various businesses, including nursing homes, student housing, medical laboratories, a community newspaper, and a hotel. It's tiring just reading this list. Arguably, his most significant business venture was founding and serving as president of Milestone Communications, which launched Flow 93.5 FM, Canada's first Black-owned radio station. Mr. Jolly has committed himself to social justice and advocacy for vulnerable members of society, including standing with members of the Black Action Defense Committee against anti-Black racism and racial profiling, as well as supporting the Jamaican Canadian Association and his alma mater, Cornwall College in Jamaica. He has used his position and access to spaces of power to open doors for others and to speak out against anti-Black racism and other forms of discrimination, including publishing his memoir, the 2017 Toronto Book Award-winning In the Black, My Life. A highly sought-after speaker, Mr. Jolly has received numerous honors, including the prestigious Order of Canada. He was also named a patron of the Program for Advancement of Childhood Education, a registered Canadian charity that works with the Government of Jamaica's Early Childhood Commission. I now ask you, Madam Chancellor, to confer upon Denham Jolly the degree of Doctor of Laws honoris causa.
Do you want to stand just with this? By the authority of the Senate of the University of Guelph, it is an honor indeed. This is emotional for me to admit you to the degree of Doctor of Laws.
Good morning, my name is Susanna Ferreira, and I'm a professor in the Department of History. Madam Chancellor, on the recommendation of the Senate of the University of Guelph, it is my honor to present to you Jacqueline Murray for the distinction of University Professor Emerita. A groundbreaking researcher and leader in the field of medieval studies and in the scholarship of teaching and learning, Dr. Jacqueline Murray is internationally recognized for her scholarship in sexuality and gender. Dr. Murray joined the University of Guelph as Dean of the College of Arts and professor in the Department of History, while also holding the status of professor in the Center of Medieval Studies at the University of Toronto. Dr. Murray has won numerous federal grants for her own research and for her extensive work in leading collaborative ventures with scholars in North America and Europe. She's edited or co-edited 11 volumes and written dozens of articles and book chapters on issues related to the history of marriage, family, sex and sexuality in the Middle Ages, and the medieval world. Her studies have made crucial contributions to the development of the history of sexuality and gender, and at the same time, Dr. Murray has bridged medieval scholarship and current issues by publishing topical commentary in national newspapers. An award-winning leader in the scholarship of teaching and learning, Dr. Murray served as director of the University of Guelph's first-year seminar program and has mentored dozens of medievalists in Canada and abroad, and some faculty too. Her excellence and innovation as a teacher have earned her numerous awards from the University of Guelph, as well as recognition as a 3M National Teaching Fellow. Dr. Murray has been named a Fellow of the Royal Historical Society, a Donald Bullough Fellow in Medieval History at the University of St. Andrews in Scotland, and a life member of Clare Hall at the University of Cambridge. For her outstanding record of research achievement and commitment to education and scholarship, I ask you, Madam Chancellor, to confer upon Jacqueline Murray the distinction of University Professor Emerita.
By the authority of the Senate of the University of Guelph, I have the honor to name you University Professor Emerita. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Madam Chancellor, before I read the official citation I have here, I will ask for your indulgence for a few moments. I wanted to say that it is my privilege and a distinct pleasure for me to be here to celebrate Dr. Clive Thompson. During, as well as after his years as my director in the School of Languages and Literatures, Clive Thompson was unreservedly generous in his mentorship and inspiring in his leadership. I will always be him for his confidence in me and his unfailing support. I would also like to recognize our colleague in the School of Languages and Literatures, Dr. Margot Irvin, who prepared the nomination dossier leading to today's happy moment. Margot is on research leave in Paris, but I am honored to be standing in this spot for her. She is certainly most present in spirit. Now, on to the official citation. Madam Chancellor, on the recommendation of the Senate of the University of Guelph, it is my honor to present to you Clive Thompson for the distinction of University Professor Emeritus. Dr. Clive Thompson has led a productive and influential career as an internationally recognized scholar of French literature and has contributed significantly to the development of French studies in Ontario as the head of 2 university departments. His 43-year-long career included teaching and research at several Ontario universities before he arrived at the University of Guelph in 2008 as the director of the School of Languages and Literatures. Dr. Thompson has been a visiting professor at numerous universities in France, Italy, Brazil, and Bulgaria. In 1999, he received the distinction of Chevalier dans l'Ordre des Palmes Académiques from the government of France for his initiatives to promote the study of the language, literature, and culture of France. A specialist in the works of the French author Émile Zola, the Russian literary theorist Mikhail Bakhtin, and French philosopher Michel Foucault, Dr. Thompson has also focused his research on homosexuality and gender issues in French literature at the end of the 19th century. He has helped shape this growing field as a pioneering researcher, including publishing the book Georges Herel, Archéologie de l'inversion sexuelle fin de siècle, and co-organizing the 2017 Fier Archives exhibition in Paris. In 2021, he published the book On croit comprendre le monde avec ça, entretien mémorial avec Henri Mitterrand. And just 2 weeks ago, his most recent book appeared, Quand c'est possible, c'est faisable, entretien mémorial avec Colette Becker. Another book in this series will be published this year. You're truly unstoppable, Clive. Dr. Thompson supervised numerous graduate theses during his tenure as professor of French and director of the School of Languages and Literatures here at Guelph, and as professor and chair of French Studies at Western University. His research has been supported by grants from the Social Sciences and Humanities Research Council of Canada, the City of Paris, and the European Union's Erasmus Mundus program. For his outstanding record of research achievement and commitment to education and scholarship, I ask you, Madam Chancellor, to confer upon Dr. Clive Thompson the distinction of University Professor Emeritus.
And by the authority of the Senate of the University of Guelph, I have the honor to name you University Professor Emeritus. I now have the pleasure of inviting Dr. Denham Jolly to deliver the convocation address.
Hello. I am grateful and humbled by this honorary degree, Doctor of Laws, honoris causa. I would like to salute the distinguished leaders of the University of Guelph, President and Vice Chancellor, Dr. Charlotte Yates. I'm especially proud that Chancellor Dr. Marianne Chambers is presiding at this convocation and conferring this great honor. She has personally funded more than 60 scholarships for students at universities and colleges in Ontario. But I'm most proud of you, the latest graduates of the University of Guelph. On this day that recognizes your academic achievement and your degree, I salute you. Give yourselves a hand. You make your families proud. At the age of 20, I left Jamaica for Guelph's Ontario Agricultural College. 1 year later, I transferred to the Nova Scotia Agricultural College and then to MacDonald College at McGill University, where I earned my Bachelor of Science degree. And the letter President Yates sent me, she wrote that It was, quote, in recognition of my success as an entrepreneur, leader, mentor, and advocate that I have used my position and access to spaces of power to open doors for others and to speak out about Black racism and other forms of discrimination. You may not know that I started the first Black-owned and operated station in Canada, playing rap, hip-hop, and other forms of music. It was Flow 93.5 FM in Toronto. At the time, no hip-hop and R&B was being played in Toronto, and fans had to tune into radio stations in Buffalo. So in 1988, we put together a consortium to apply for the first urban music station license in Canada. It took 12 years. 3 applications, abundant tenacity of purpose, and $2 million to bring us to an approval in June of 2000. But only 5 years later, we became the #1 contemporary radio station in the nation. We then partnered with Chum and started another station, The Bounce, in Edmonton. So if you're listening to Drake, The Weeknd, and others, it is Flow that has made your life more interesting. We had 2 imperatives. Flow was not only a bona fide Black business success, we were more than a business. We were a strong voice in the battle for social justice. Now you see Black faces on TV and hear their sounds on the radio. But Flow took the first steps, and the journey is far from over. Devout activists never rest. So in 1988, led by Dudley Laws, a group of community activists, we founded the Black Action Defense Committee in the struggle against the whole spate of police shootings in the Black community in Toronto. So BADC was a precursor of today's current Black Lives Matter, and the principal force in the formation of the SIU, the Special Investigations Unit. Now, pride in the community is an important factor in bringing about social change. So in 1982, we organized the Black Business and Professional Association, which has evolved into a robust organization that addresses equity and opportunity for the Black community. One of our first initiatives of the BBPA was the Harry Jerome Awards to recognize Black achievements. Today, this national gala is attended by prime ministers, dignitaries, and hundreds of guests. Indeed, the Harry Jerome Scholarship Fund has given out $6 million to over 3,000 scholarships to Black students. Potatoes, and I'm not digressing. This is my earliest memory of the Ontario Agricultural College. Almost every meal I ate at the dining hall revolved around potatoes. Baked, boiled, mashed, fried, scalloped. Now, we ate potatoes at home in Jamaica, but our staples were rice and yams. Talk about culture shock. My friends who have traveled from afar to be here today, Bruce and Janet Adoma, my daughter Nicole, and my spouse Janice, are here to share this remarkable occasion with me. So are her sisters, Marie and Brenda, who is a Guelph alumnus. Their family owned a farm not very far from here, where they grew potatoes. And potatoes have become an enjoyable part of my diet. But I also enjoy jerk chicken, curry, lasagna. Now, the reason I am sharing with you this with you is to remind you that being open to diversity and being gastronomically adventurous is to embrace all cultures with openness. I mentioned music and sports. Now I'm telling you about food. My message to you is open your minds and your hearts to every culture without prejudice or bias. I have been recognized for my accomplishments and my achievements over the years. And an honorary degree from the University of Guelph is a very, very special one. The motto of the University of Guelph is improve life, and I hope that you will. By getting your degrees, you have already accomplished much. Congratulations again. I am deeply touched with the opportunity to speak to you, the leaders of tomorrow. I hope that what I have told you today has some resonance. Esteemed class of 2023, please permit me to close by quoting from the Desiderata. And whether or not it is clear to you, no doubt the universe is as unfolding as it should. Therefore, be at peace with God, whatever you conceive him to be. And whatever your labors and aspirations, in the noisy confusion of life, keep peace in your soul. With all its sham, drudgery, and broken dreams, it is still a beautiful world. Be cheerful. Strive to be happy. Merci. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Jolly. I'm not sure what I can add to that except to repeat some of your phrases. Tenacity of purpose, to connect business with purpose, social purpose, to be gastronomically adventurous, and to have pride in community. Wonderful words. Today, certainly no one has also mentioned that I believe you're 87, is that correct? Okay, so at age 87, yes. Surely it's a reminder to all of us that we have much more to do. My name is Ben Bradshaw, and I have the honor of serving as the Assistant Vice President for Graduate Studies at the University of Guelph. So you can imagine my excitement. We have some graduate students who will be receiving a degree today. But let me be the first to also say to all of you undergrads who are about to complete your degree that we would welcome you back for graduate studies. Graduates, now is the moment you've all been waiting for. Will you please rise? Madam Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you these scholars who have fulfilled the statutory requirements laid down by the Senate of the University of Guelph, that they may be admitted to their various and several degrees.
By virtue of the authority vested in me and in the University of Guelph, I hereby accept you for admission to your various and several degrees with all the rights, obligations, and privileges appertaining thereto.
Thank you. Will members of the graduating class please be seated?
All right. Hello again. My name continues to be Andrew Bailey, and as an Associate Dean in the College of Arts, I have the distinct pleasure and privilege of representing Dean Samantha Brennan at Convocation here today. The College of Arts offers degrees in art, literature, theatre, creative writing, history, languages, get comfortable, the list goes on, global cultures, philosophy, classics, music, and interdisciplinary programs such as arts and sciences, technology studies, Black Canadian studies, and sexuality, gender, and social change. Our faculty members, as well as being innovative and committed teachers, which I hope you graduands have experienced, are active researchers and creators across all these areas and more. We're known nationally for our work in several areas, including, just to pick a few representative examples, studio art, creative writing, Scottish and rural history, applied issues in social philosophy and ethics, and digital humanities research, and we're home to an internationally recognized, first-of-its-kind improvisation and social justice program. The college is the incubator for the next generation of artists, writers, humanists, creative thinkers, and world leaders. Now, parents and guests, I'm going to ask you to tread a tricky tightrope as we move forward. We're going to request that you hold your applause until after each group of graduates has been hooded, just to make sure that we can keep things moving and make sure that we hear each student's name be clearly heard as they come up on stage. On the other hand, we really like to hear you whoop and holler as your particular graduate comes up. So short, enthusiastic outbursts of cheering are most welcome. So, congratulations, graduates. We're all very proud of what you've accomplished. In a moment, you'll cross the stage after having been announced to the Chancellor. You will stop at center stage for a photo with President Charlotte Yates, and I am honored to be able to greet each of you as you leave the stage. Please stay in touch. We look forward to hearing about all that you will accomplish in the future. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you these scholars from the College of Arts, that they may be presented with their various and several degrees.
Graduating with the degree of Doctor of Philosophy from the College of Arts, Mariah Hudek. Please join me in congratulating all of our doctoral graduates from the College of Arts. Graduating from the College of Arts with the degree of Master of Arts, Marcella Altamira. Kayla Elizabeth Anderson. Kira Kimberly Bates. Bettina Maribel Bozolosco. Joseph Rudolph Damas. Michael Raphael Delela. Robert Levi Fluelling. Michael Drake Hodgson. Phanisha Kemple. Stephanie Elizabeth Lewis. Barry Marshall. Andrew Patrick Northey. Ava Omidi. Dylan Perry Lai. Moira Smee. Wilda Ray Toom. Please join me in congratulating all of our magisteriate degrees from the College of Arts. Graduating from the College of Arts with the degree of Bachelor of Arts Honors Program, Claire Noel Achitola. Jude Acree. Mayar Alfara with distinction. Mackenzie Rebecca Anderson. Casey Joseph August with distinction. Marisa Hazel Bell with distinction. Amy Erin Diane Boonstra. Caden William Perry Bork. Georgia Bradley. Rebecca Marie Buckle with distinction. Kelsey Grace Bullock. Alexander Michael Baikawi. Leo Caven. Kinnery Jessie Ruth Chaparral with distinction. John Stewart Cleland with distinction. Julia Grace Copeland with distinction. Catherine Elizabeth Davies with distinction. Caitlin Amanda Denamoustier. Tessa Elizabeth Denamoustier with distinction. Allison Denstead. Isabella Maria DeTulio with distinction. Amelia Dospinoyu. Samantha Ellen Drew with distinction. Michaela Nina Espinona Christensen. Ashley Fazio with distinction. Cassandra Friesen with distinction. Callie Gibson with distinction. Anna Golding with distinction. Grace Gollum with distinction. Samantha Heath with distinction. Chloe Jane Hughes. Tristan Andre Trevor Hughes with distinction. Matthew Robert Ivanoff with distinction. Carson Amy Johnston with distinction. Connor Kaler. Ben Kerriman with distinction. Michaela Elizabeth Kelly. Coco Summer Rainbow Kester with distinction. Ella Mae Keys. Christopher Alexander Kim. Alexander Komyenovich. Mary Elizabeth Kretsch with distinction. Alexandra Kursiba with distinction. Annie Catherine Lampkin. Christopher Hockey Lim with distinction. Jack Michael Little. Shinji Suzanne Liu. Jenny Liu with distinction. Alexis MacDonald Anderson with distinction. Mackenzie Marie Massey. Emily McNamara with distinction. Catherine Sky Meredith with distinction. Natasha Jasmine Meredith with distinction. Kaylee Millen. Fiona Miller with distinction. Zara Mirabal Fatih Nejad. Jazz Morel. Catherine Mullins with distinction. Russell Manuel Muncaster. Kayla Ann Nesbitt with distinction. Kevin Nguyen. Rebecca Nyhouse with distinction. Rachel Mary Nancy Norton Shearing. Caleb James Parfit. Zara Rashid with distinction. Taya Richardson. Felicia Marie Richmond. Candace Diane Susan Russell with distinction. Alexis Santa Ana. Abby Connor Fleming Scott with distinction. Carson Simon. Elissa Faith Trotter. Johnny Cooper Richard Vag. Tamara Vargay. Maya Rose Wainbloom. Piper Sunshine Westlake. Jack Murray Whiteley. Carly Beatrice Wilson with distinction. Graduating from the College of Arts with the degree of Bachelor of Arts, General Program. Parker Barrich. Maxwell Harris Brannon. Dahlia Mary Elizabeth Chamish. Jana Nicole Ford. Lucas Nelson Furtado. Anthony Hall. Our next graduate was scheduled to walk across the stage tomorrow, but he is leaving for training with the armed forces before being deployed with the Army overseas. So we have adjusted to allow him to cross the stage today, and I am privileged to introduce Cillier Van Heerden. Anna Victoria Heller. Avery Blair Irwin. Olivia Claire Jackson. James Michael Lightbourne. Caitlin Nicole Martins. Gage Mason McCurdy. Colleen Moody. Callum Pitt. Our next graduate began his degree in 1971 and crosses the stage today. Stephen Dennis Potter. I'm sorry you have to follow that. Angela Amelia Radford. Eduardo Antonio Sanchez. Graduating from the College of Arts with the degree of Bachelor of Arts and Sciences, Shayna Abbottball. Sarah Marie Ainsworth with distinction. Rafat Alzara. Keely Ann Anderson with distinction. Amara Bernier with distinction. Martha Anna Birnaka. Kiana Blood. Dana Boucher with distinction. Madison Mary Josephine Boyle. Sabrina Capolongo with distinction. Robin Clark. Kennedy Ann Connors. Vanessa DeFalco. Lily Lorraine Downing Saliani with distinction. Tessa Margaret Dwyer with distinction. Danica Jeanette Egan. Tierna Philman. Kira Jelena. Danielle Giansante. Ilda Hadziosmanovic. Sorry, Ilda Hadziosmanovic with distinction. Jessie Elizabeth Anderson Harder with distinction. Sophie Christine Jackson with distinction. Malaika Javed. Juliana Kagawa. Margaret Hannah Kuning with distinction. Joshua Lannon. Jessica Legg with distinction. Cameron David James Barr Loach. Vivian I. Lin Ma, with distinction. Kiana Yong Yun Kwan McDonald. Martina Malito, with distinction. Alexandra McGurk, with distinction. Michaela McMullen. Farhad Omarzad. Abigail Partington, with distinction. Eric Matthew Pearson. Tavon Pierre, with distinction. Melody Pilchak, with distinction. Lauren Prezio, with distinction. Basima Rashid. Matthew Sbrisa, with distinction. Dana Schonberg, with distinction. Lily Seedhouse, with distinction. Nisha Shin, with distinction. Kathleen Symington. Aberna Thevapaskaran. Avery Nicole Underwood, with distinction. Ayush Verma. Kevin Maynard Villanueva, with distinction. Jack Walsh, with distinction. Amy Elizabeth Woodworth, with distinction. Please join me in congratulating all of our baccalaureate graduates from the College of Arts. Could we just get the main podium microphone on, please?
Hello? Oh, there we are. Hello, everyone. My name is Randy Van Acker. I'm Dean of the Ontario Agricultural College here at the University of Guelph. And before I make my comments, I would just like to say to you, Dr. Jolie, on behalf of OAC, my thanks and my congratulations. My thanks to you for your inspiration. And also on behalf of OAC, my apologies for the potatoes. We don't do that anymore. Convocations are always a highlight of the year, and we are so proud of all of you, our graduates, like your families and your friends, to see you cross this stage. You've persevered through trying times, including a global pandemic, but you made it, so congratulations to you. And you now become an alum not only of the University of Guelph, but also of OAC, an august and renowned college. OAC is ranked top 20 globally for agriculture in the world, and top 5 globally for specialties, including animal science and food science. And we've been here for some time. OAC has almost a 150-year history In fact, we are celebrating our 150th anniversary next year, and we hope to see you as alumni back here on Alumni Weekend 2024 to help us to celebrate. And for these past 149 years, OAC has been offering programs in our strength areas of food, agriculture, rural communities, and the environment. But our real strength is you, our graduates. Today, you become part of a worldwide network of leaders in these areas, our proud OAC alumni, and we look forward to the successes you will have and the leadership you will bring to your disciplines that are fundamentally important to sustaining our life here on this planet. Congratulations on your success, OAC grads. And now, Madam Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you these baccalaureate scholars from OAC that they may be admitted to their various and several degrees.
Graduating from the Ontario... Now this one needs to be... There we go. Graduating from the Ontario Agricultural College with the degree Bachelor of Commerce, Declan Barber with distinction. Clinton Coleman Cameron with distinction. Peter Michael Conlon. Sarah Jane Danon. Eric Carl Ferguson. Emily May Gibson with distinction. Alexander Giglio. Taylor Gillen with distinction. Evan Scott Hansen with distinction. Lian Huang. Simone Yaniello with distinction. Adam Kranz. Andrew Laguerre with distinction. Sihan Liu. Peter Lutke with distinction. Jack Robert McTiernan. Thomas Franklin Morgan. Joseph Miuma. Marissa Judith Nonkes. Kayla Peters with distinction. Eric Top. Taylor Ann Vandermeulen with distinction. Eric William Van Ness. Sharon Van Vuren. Thomas Earl Whitty. Graduating from the Ontario Agricultural College with the degree of Bachelor of Science Honours Program, Baron Amini. Elena Atanasio. Celeste Schuyler Ayala. Cassidy Ann Ball. Panayotis Balusis with distinction. Ashley Lynn Belisle with distinction. Olivia Mary Bennett. Soraya Noel Benninger. Willow Abigail Bergwerf. Caitlin Jennifer Bird. Sarah Victoria Blacklock with distinction. Caitlin Bramham with distinction. Haley Braun with distinction. Justin Richard Brookshaw. Rayanne Malin Brown with distinction. Sarah Jane Irene Bruner with distinction. Emma Burnett with distinction. Martin Carlisle with distinction. Ella Ray Carter. Rachel Kasupanan with distinction. Kiara Chin with distinction. Kayla Mary Ellen Clark. Abigail Lee Davis. Hope Dewan with distinction. Emily Diaz Reyes. Caitlin Marianne Doof with distinction. Hannah Grace Dunstan. Steely Charlize Ellis. Yishan Fan. Emily Ferdman. Braden Grant Figuth with distinction. Mackenzie Sue Foote. Victoria Forster with distinction. Olivia Alexandra Fowler with distinction. Lizanne Fulton with distinction. Kira Gagliardi. Zachary Gladys. Mina Caress Gonzalez. Jenna Faith Gosling with distinction. Emily Grace Henderson with distinction. Andrea Heredia Alcocer with distinction. Julia Dane Hayder with distinction. Emma Kathleen Hill with distinction. Natalie Hua with distinction. Samantha Dolly Jean Hutchings with distinction. Leslie Huynh with distinction. Victoria Huynh with distinction. Iknur Jatana with distinction. Sanskruti Jogalekar with distinction. Angela Johnson. Regan Jones with distinction. Michaela Junk with distinction. Amanda Keynes with distinction. Jashneed Kaur. Jessica Morgan Kowalik. Maya Teresa Kichok with distinction. Justine Olivia Kick. Emily Napper. Jaroy Ko. Melinda Patricia Kovacs with distinction. Amy Ledsam. Rebecca Jessica Leozopi Salazar with distinction. Alex Lung with distinction. Leah Logothetis with distinction. Olivia Gabriella Lawrence with distinction. Tess Jane McGuire with distinction. Ishika Simran Maharaj. Allison Kate Major. Jaden Millette with distinction. Lauren Ann Mason with distinction. Sarah McElmoyle. Kaylee Mitchell with distinction. Jordan Elizabeth Moorhead with distinction. Grace Olivia Morrison with distinction. Lindsay Caitlin Murray. Pega Nasernejad. Isha Pandya with distinction. Katerina Papadakis. Alina Michelle Parkinson with distinction. Jennifer Peng with distinction. Madison Penny with distinction. Eric Jordan Peters with distinction. Julia Ruth Petru with distinction. Avalon Phillips. Chloe Faith Popov with distinction. Olivia Purificati. Hannah Teresa Rakoski with distinction. Vivian Kara Ross. Sophie Ann Roy. Jacob Mark Rouet with distinction. Rebecca Sadler with distinction. Alyssa Saleka. Becca Salter. Tatum Elise Schooley with distinction. Mika Abigail Schwartz. Casey Sefa with distinction. Gurgeet Sikhan. Yuki Shi. Tiffany Siu with distinction. Raymond Song with distinction. Rachel Jessica Sorbera with distinction. Tara Sotude. Julia Diana Street with distinction. Aaron Suganda. Catherine Sun. Alexandra Victoria Tippett with distinction. Kaylee Ann Thomas with distinction. Kelly Tremblay. Chao Huang Bao Trong with distinction. Sharon Sukernik. Shelby Turner. Madison Van Kempen. Nomi Anna Vismeg. Brennan Michael Walsh. Laura Warrener with distinction. Samantha Weeks. Chun Yin Ivan Wong. Mo Shong Wong. Sean Yabar with distinction. Elizabeth Rimka Zanstra. Yuni Zhang with distinction. At the beginning of the ceremony, I gave a personal guarantee that there would be a moment for truly thunderous applause, and this is that moment.
Thank you. This has been an especially lively crowd. And it's wonderful to be back with all of you in person. Sadly, there are some graduates today who weren't able to join us. So, Madam Chancellor, I would ask you to confer the various and several degrees on the graduands listed in the program, but unable to be present at today's ceremony.
By virtue of the authority vested in me and in the University of Guelph, I confer the various and several degrees in absentia on the graduates not present.
Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Charlotte Yates, and I'm the President and Vice Chancellor of the University of Guelph. I cannot tell you how delighted I am to be sharing this morning with the 2023 graduates of the College of Arts and the Ontario Agriculture College. This is your day. You should sit here, feel proud. You've accomplished an incredible amount. You've had some great times, and there's been some hurdles along the way. And yet, here you sit today, successful. You've achieved a huge milestone, and it sets you up for the next steps in your life. But it's also important today just to celebrate. Enjoy the fact that this is your day. And I want to applaud you for all your achievements. Universities are funny places. When you first start, if you think back to when you came, I'm sure many of you didn't know quite what to expect. And you know that you're going to study. You know that you're registered in a program where you've got to learn a lot. But what you don't know is that university is a lot about the connections and relationships you build over the years here. The people you meet over the last few years, your faculty, new friends that you've made that I hope will remain friends for a lifetime. You've learned a lot, you've studied with people. You've experimented with new things, you've had new experiences. And you've worked collaboratively with people with different ideas and with different strengths and interests. These relationships and experience immeasurably add to the student experience, and they serve you well to prepare you for the future. Whether you are starting a new career, or you're going on to graduate or professional school, or you're taking a pause to figure out what's next, those relationships count. Over the last few years, you've not only studied, built relationships, but you've also learned how to be fully engaged citizens and make your contribution to a broader world. As you've heard several times this morning, the University of Guelph's mission is to improve life, and we hope to instill in each and every one of our students the drive to both celebrate that next step and make that contribution to improving life. So when you take a moment to congratulate yourselves, reflect on what you've accomplished, but also be excited about what's to come. Allow me to echo the thanks of our Chancellor to the friends, family, everybody here to celebrate the graduates. It's special today, and I know how hard it can be and how joyous it can be to be supporting a graduate, but today they are successful. So be proud, but also we're very, very aware of your enormous success. When I came to Guelph about 8 years ago, I had known about Guelph, but I'd been on other campuses, and there is something special about the University of Guelph. There is a certain magic on our campus. And I knew that when I came here, but I couldn't quite figure out what it was. Part of it was we're very famous for our agricultural and our veterinary college, and we're very famous for international development and doing hands-on learning, community engagement. So I thought I understood a little bit about what was special about the University of Guelph. But I think it's been over these last few years, being able to cross the stage with so many of you, hundreds, thousands actually over the time I've been here. And I think I know a little bit about what makes the genius of the University of Guelph. And it's partly resting on our mission. Each and every one of you, every one of our grads, our faculty, our staff, all of our leaders, know that our mission is to improve life and primarily to support our students so they have a rich and wonderful experience. We also know that it's about building community, and it's about having a purpose. And our purpose at the University of Guelph has been reinforced by our new strategic plan called Our Time. It's the University of Guelph's time to deepen our impact on the world, to transform the university through our commitments to indigenization and to building an equitable, diverse, and inclusive society. We want to improve your student experience even more for the next generation, at the same time while building a sustainable tomorrow for us, but others around the world. And finally, by supporting our faculty and staff success, who in turn are the key ingredients to your success. Your experience here, and now you are alumni, will help the university realize its goals over the coming years. You will make your own contribution. And I think that that's important to remember, that we want you to continue to stay connected with us. I hope that we prepared you to be global thinkers, to think outside of the world we live in Guelph or beyond in your own community, but to think about also how you work together to solve those big problems. The world is a challenging place. And each and every one of you have learned to work together with people, with different knowledge, with different ideas, with different approaches. And that's how we change the world we live in. You are well prepared. Your education has prepared you so well to make a contribution no matter what that contribution is that you choose. And that contribution may change over the course of your life. And that's part of the excitement. This is an ending and a beginning. It's a beginning for you, an exciting beginning. Yet, it's important to value what universities are, because when we look around the world over the last few years, we've seen a disturbing trend of attacks on academic freedom. In many jurisdictions around the world and close to home, you've started to see restrictions on what universities can study, what they can read, what academics and scientists can do. This is a dangerous trend. It threatens our ability to explore the universe and beyond the universe, and to explore different societies, ask really difficult, challenging questions, and debate with others here in our classrooms and around the world. Universities were first created to give faculty and students a place where they can research, publish their work, experiment with new ideas, teach, study freely and openly. These freedoms are the core of a democratic society. Stimulating innovation and sparking positive change is impossible without them. At the University of Guelph, our core value is the pursuit of truth. As graduates, we hope you'll be able to continue to pursue that truth, contribute to that truth as you leave these doors, and help create a world where independence of thought and inquiry are non-negotiable. As you look back, I hope you will see that the University of Guelph is a community, a family to which you are part. You've been part of us for the last few years, but remember that relationship doesn't end today. There are thousands of Griffins around the world. And when you need help, when you want a question, you want to connect with someone, you link up with a Griffin, and guess what? When they see you're a graduate of the University of Guelph, they will give you a leg up. They'll give you that extra piece of advice. They'll give you the time. That's the nature of being part of the Griffin family. So maintain that connection. Check in with us from time to time. Come back. Remember that there are another generation of students coming behind you. You are the success. You are the people they look up to. You're the mentors. You can help us by supporting them to achieve their success. And along the way, hopefully, we can help you as well. If you have questions, or you're stumbling along, or you think, I'd really like to make that connection, get back in touch with us. Our world, our job, is to support you through your studies, but also your success beyond. As we come to the conclusion of this convocation, we'd like to share a brief video with you entitled Moments.
Your university experience is made up of moments. From the moment you opened your acceptance letter, survived online enrollment, and packed the moving van, your adventure began. From the nerves of being a first-year student who chose to make Guelph their home, you became part of a community. First roommates, made your first university friends, and moved into your first apartment, your social circle grew. From the times you missed your family, weren't sure if university was for you, then bravely decided that it was, you gained courage. From the late-night study sessions, to the early morning exams, and finishing your projects at the very last minute, you proved to yourself that you could do it. From the summer jobs, the co-op terms, and the contacts you made in your field of study, you turned your classroom learning into practical experience. From the football games, the campus clubs, and the groups you were the beating heart of, you showed that nothing is stronger than a Guelph connection. From the moment you donned your gown, crossed the stage, and got the degree you worked so hard to earn, you have been part of something special. From the University of Guelph, we say thank you. Thank you for contributing to a culture and reputation that's unlike any university in Canada. Thank you for innovating, striving for excellence, and helping us to improve life. Thank you for continuing your relationship with the university as mentors, advocates, and proud alumni. Thank you for sharing some of your most important moments with us. Congratulations, and thank you for forever being a Griffin. Welcome to the alumni family.
Each time I see that video, I'm struck by the joy, the excitement, and you can feel it when you just walk onto campus this morning. I don't know about you, you just know. It's a joyous time, so it's a wonderful moment to celebrate. You've learned a lot about yourself over the last few years. I know you've grown, you've changed, and I wish you the best as you boldly embark on your next adventure. It has been a true honor today to celebrate with you and your friends and family. Thank you for being part of the University of Guelph, And congratulations again on this incredible milestone in your life. And good luck as you go forward. Thank you.
So just a quick explanation on how the final stages of convocation will go as we are now completing the formal portion. In just a few moments, I will invite Kate, our bagpiper, front and center. At that point, I will invite everybody to rise as you're able, as the mace and the platform party exit with the bagpiper. Traditionally, the graduates would follow to the bagpipe music, but we've changed that a little bit. So the grads will be leaving after the platform party to something a little different, and I'll explain that in a few moments. We call that a tease. For family and friends, a reminder to each of you to please stay after the graduates have left. I promise it'll be better and more enjoyable for you to stay here with me for 3 minutes while I explain where you're going instead of getting clogged up in the hallways. Appreciate your support and your patience with that. So I'll invite Kate front and center, and as is our wonderful tradition here at the University of Guelph, the final word on convocation, as always, shall come from our Chancellor.
Convocation is dismissed.
We would invite you all to please rise as you're able. Never works. Okay, so we'll wait for the platform party to exit. They're almost, it's a very large platform party today, I apologize. Okay, the grown-ups are gone, now we can have some fun. Here's how this is going to work. Traditionally, you know, Convocation has a lot of pageantry associated with it, a lot of history. We would all leave to the bagpipe music, and nothing against the bagpipe music. It's beautiful and it's wonderful and we love it, but we thought as the world evolved and changed, Convocation needed to evolve and change as well. So last summer, 14 straight ceremonies, we had the graduates leave to Lizzo's About Damn Time, which is great. It's great for your degrees. It's about damn time, right? And then in the fall, we had the graduates all leave to the Arkells, Years in the Making. Another thing for your degrees, Years in the Making. It was great. So what we decided this time is we're going to put a vote out to the graduates, and you can vote on what song to leave to, and whatever got the most votes is what we're going to play. So who voted? 10 people. Well, they're picking what you walk out to. It's a good one, though. It's a good one. And I think this might be the best one yet. But the great thing about having music like this to exit out is the family and friends provide the atmosphere, the environment. And we've always had them clapping along and providing a beat and a bit of a party atmosphere, because really this is a celebration. And the best mindset for these new grads is so... Don't stop me now. Don't stop me now. Let's hear it for your graduates. 'Cause I'm having a good time, having a good time. Shooting star leaping through the sky like a tiger, defying the laws of gravity. I'm a racing car passing by like Lady Godiva. I'm gonna go, go, go. There's no stopping me. I'm burning through the sky, 200 degrees. That's why they call me Mr. Fahrenheit. I'm traveling at the speed of light. I wanna make a supersonic man out of you. Don't stop me now. Such a good time. I'm having a ball. Don't stop me now. If you wanna have a good time, just give me a call. Don't stop me now. 'Cause I'm having a good time. Don't stop me now. Yes, I'm having a good time. I don't wanna stop at all. I'm a rocket ship on my way to Mars on a collision course. I am a satellite. I'm out of control. I'm a sex machine ready to reload. Like an atom bomb about to explode. I'm burning through the sky. 200 degrees, that's why they call me Mr. Fahrenheit. I'm traveling at the speed of light. I wanna make a supersonic woman of you. Don't stop me, don't stop me, don't stop me. Hey, hey, hey! Don't stop me, don't stop me. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I like it. Don't stop me, have a good time, good time. Don't stop me, don't stop me. Isn't that a better way to end Convocation? And that was great. On the shorter ceremonies, we don't get to the guitar solo, and it makes me a little sad. So that was good. All right, everybody just have a seat for a moment, and I'll explain where you're going and how to get there so you can all play my favorite game called Find Your Graduate. Good luck. The room is huge. The only hint I can offer, they're in a black robe, except for one. Whoever's got the doctorate, the blue robe, it's going to be really easy for you. Okay, the first thing I want to do is I'm going to let you know where you're going. So for those familiar with the campus, you are going to the field house. The field house is where the Convocation tea is. If you're familiar with the campus and you know where that is, great. If you are not familiar with the campus, it's an enormous building over there. If at any point you're not headed that way, you're going the wrong way. So I will tell you how to get there quickly and efficiently. The first thing I'm going to do is I want to invite our guests who can't navigate stairs well and need an accessible route. I'm going to dismiss you right now, so you can get up and go wherever you want, and I'll talk while you're going. You can go out this front door. There is an elevator. As soon as you go out that door, you take that elevator to level 2R. That will give you a stair-free route over to the Convocation tea. All right? So we're going to dismiss in 3 sections, and the 3 sections are this half of the floor, this half of the floor, and the bleachers. The first to go is going to be this half of the floor. So wait, I'm going to give me 30 seconds to just tell you how you're getting there. So what you're going to do is you're going to go out that back door. As soon as you hit that back door, you're going to see a very large red arrow that tells you to go left. I need half of you to ignore that arrow. Half of you go left, half of you go right. There's a quick little jog in a parallel hallway behind, and that will take you to exactly the same place. All right? So, your adults figure out who goes left and figure out who goes right. Class dismissed over there. Now, bleachers, you're going to go in a moment. Let me explain how you're going to get there. You're going to head up to the track level, and you're going to head out that door and take the marked path to the Convocation tee. At some point on the end of that route, you're going to run into these people. So there is going to be a bottleneck over there. I would encourage you, if you are so inclined, it's a nice day outside, if you'd like an outdoor route, take this door. There's a path directly to the field house. On an empty day, it's 30 seconds longer, but you're not shoulder to shoulder with people in the hallways and fighting inside. So choose wisely. You can go this way, or you can go this way, and you're getting to the same place over there. Up in the bleachers, class dismissed. Thanks for your patience. Now this section over here, hold on a second, you gotta wait. You had the best seats, but this is the cost. You now have to wait here with me, and this should only take, at best guess, 25 to 30 minutes. Kidding. 3 minutes tops, 2 to 3 minutes tops. I just want to let this clear, or you're going to end up in the same spot. But while we're waiting, I will explain where you're going, because there also is an outdoor option for you. So you can go out the back door, or you can go out the front door. Marked paths to the Convocation tee will take you through the building, but as I warned the bleachers, you're going to run into everybody else at the end, and there will be a bottleneck. Feel free to take it. Everyone's going the same place. The grads aren't going anywhere. But if you'd like to take an outdoor route, you can go out this door, you can turn left and go out the entrance that you came in, take a quick right, and then a right on Langway, and then the field house is right beside it. It's giant. If you're not sure it's the right building, it's the wrong building. We can hold a track meet in there. That's what it is. So that, on an empty day, would take you about 90 seconds longer. It's not a very long route, so you can walk outside or you can walk inside. Either way, I think we've let enough clear. Thanks for your patience. Good luck finding your graduates, and enjoy the rest of your day.